Hey there and welcome to Terrific Trivia and Fun Facts. If you are in the mood for some laughs, here's a rundown on 30 dumb acts that just can't be beaten. Get ready to cringe, facepalm or crack up as we dive into a whirlwind of epic fails and incredibly dumb deeds ever attempted. Let's get started. Number 1. A snatch and grab thief in Chicago wanted to steal from the display window of a jewelry store. He pried a manhole cover out of the street and smashed it through the window. He grabbed the jewelry and took off running, but he fell through the open manhole. Number 2. In the 16th century, a musician invented the cat organ, which was a piano-like instrument with a line of cats placed in a resonant box, their tails attached under a keyboard. Every time a key was pressed, a corresponding cat's tail was yanked, making the feline shriek out in pain. Number 3. When the artist Marcel Duchamp was married, he ignored his bride on their honeymoon and instead played chess. She countered by gluing the chess pieces to the board. He countered by divorcing her 3 weeks later. Number 4. Business magnate Andrew Carnegie spent $250,000 to establish the simplified spelling board, which tried to convince everyone to change tough to tough, trouble to trouble and philosophy to philosophy. Number 5. An 18th century merchant, Timothy Dexter authored a book which excluded all punctuation, except for the last page, which consisted of lines of commas, exclamation points and question marks, with the instruction that readers could insert them wherever needed, or, in his words, they made pepper and sold it as they please. Dexter wasn't a fan of spelling either. Number 6. Milwaukee Brewers first baseman Richie Sexson sprained his neck in 2003 spring training trying to put on a baseball hat that was too small for him. Number 7. In 1962, a Massachusetts man refused to pay the increased tax on his house. He burned it down instead. The government charged him for the tax increase anyway. Number 8. Eccentric British aristocrat Edward Montagu had diamonds sewn all over his clothes and wore a wig made of iron. He also had a penchant for marrying indiscriminately. When he died in 1776, he left behind 100 widows. Number 9. In 1989, a wine merchant proudly held a news conference to display his new acquisition, a 1787 bottle of Chateau Margaux worth $300,000. A minute later, it was nothing at all, after he dropped the bottle on the floor. Number 10. An Illinois woman died in 1996 when she was smothered in the trash. She was an obsessive collector of trash, piling it up inside her house. One day the trash piles collapsed on top of her. Number 11. Director Alfred Hitchcock's granddaughter asked for his help writing a school paper analyzing one of his films, Shadow of a Doubt. When the girl turned in the paper, they got a C. Number 12. When cars first came to Tennessee, the city of Memphis passed a statute that a woman could only drive if a man walked in front of the car and waved a red flag to warn pedestrians of approaching danger. Number 13. An anti-drug group in New York distributed free pencils to school kids with the message, "Too cool to do drugs." It started out okay, but got worse when the kids actually used the pencils. As the pencils were sharpened, the message changed to, "Cool to do drugs." Then, do drugs. Number 14. Legendary baseball player Babe Ruth carried the superstition that anyone he met on the street with a physical deformity would bring him good luck for the day's game. During the 1928 season, he hired a man with a humpback to cross his path before every game. Number 15. In 1561, a book called Missi ac Missalis Anatomia was published, containing 15 pages of errata. The whole book ran to only 172 pages of text, setting a world record that has yet to be beaten for abominable proofreading. If you are enjoying the content, remember to like, share, comment and subscribe to Terrific Trivia and Fun Facts. Number 16. Taking a different approach to spaceflight, the African nation of Zambia decided to send its own astronauts to the moon by using a catapult. Zambian research scientists trained volunteers by sealing them in an oil drum and rolling them down the hill. Number 17. In the 19th century England, John Fransham ran for parliament on a platform of outlawing the making of beds more than once a week on the grounds that it was too effeminate. Number 18. In Mortar, Italy, a dog shot and killed its master. The man was out hunting when his dog fell into a ditch. When the hunter held out his rifle to help the dog up, it pawed the trigger. Number 19. In Victorian England, proper library etiquette demanded that books written by women not be shelved next to books written by men, unless the authors were married to each other. Number 20. The Chinese Emperor Li Su assigned a bodyguard to each of his Pekingese. The emperor wasn't worried about dog assassins, but that bigger dogs would attack his precious little pets. Number 21. William Pitt was Prime Minister of England in the early 1800s. A doctor advised him that drinking a bottle of port each day would maintain his health. Pitt reasoned that if he drank 6 bottles of port a day, he would be 6 times as healthy. He drank himself to the grave at the age of 46. Number 22. A movie theater manager in Seoul, South Korea, found that the sound of music ran too long. He fixed the problem with some clever editing that hadn't occurred to the musical's director. He cut out the songs. Number 23. In the 17th and 18th centuries, rich men showed their class stature by shaving all the hair off their heads, then donning elaborate powdered wigs. The wigs were often made from the hair of dead poor people, which was the cheapest way for wig makers to gather supplies. Number 24. A New York man sued the city for injuries when he tripped on a hole in the street. The man worked for the city and it was his job to inspect the streets for holes. Number 25. During the Franco-Prussian War in 1871, soldiers stole 1,000 paintings by the great artist Camille Pissarro. The soldiers then destroyed the paintings by ripping the canvases from their frames to create a dry path through a muddy field. Number 26. Inés de Castro was crowned Queen of Portugal in 1357. However, she was dead at the time of her coronation. Her tragic love affair with King Peter I led to her assassination, but King Peter I wanted to cement her royal status through the coronation. Number 27. September, October, November, and December come from the Latin words septem, octo, noem, and decem, meaning 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. However, as per the Gregorian calendar, September, October, November, and December are the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th months respectively. Number 28. In the 15th century, an English bishop named Reginald Peckett tried to purify the English language by getting rid of words of Latin origin. His idea ran out of popular steam when he recommended such changes as inconceivable to not to be their table. Number 29. In Sunderland, England, a 27-year-old man was rushed to the hospital after reporting difficulty breathing. The man had glued his nostrils shut after confusing a bottle of glue with nasal spray. Number 30. The Roman Emperor Claudius II banned marriage in the year 270 because he believed that married men were too weak to be good warriors, and that they would be thinking of their wives and children, instead of marching for the glory of Rome. No more such dumb things? Do share in the comments. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. To see more videos like this, please like, share and subscribe to Terrific Trivia and Fun Facts.